Hello everybody, this is Purge, bringing you a first-person replay commentary. Excuse me. This is a Disruptor game that I played a couple days ago. I'm going to speed up just a little bit because... Oh, I'm confused. Where is my speed setting? Oh, there it is. Alright, we're going to move this up to like 4 times or something. Okay, played Disruptor a couple days ago in a solo queue. Sorry I haven't posted a video, by the way. I guess I should talk about that stuff before I talk about old Disruptor. I know I made a Disruptor video recently, but I don't know, I had another good game and I wanted to upload it because I was really happy with how I played this game. Upon watching some of the replay earlier, I was a little disappointed in some of the things, but I'll talk about that. Anyways, haven't made a video in about 2 days, sorry about that. Got kind of busy. Today we had a KDL match, so we went into Seoul. And we ended up winning, so now we're 2-0 in Tier 2, which is not too unexpected. We should go undefeated in Tier 2. We should be okay there. And then after the season ends, we have a chance to win the KDL Season 4 Finals, despite being in Tier 2, which is cool. And then we have KDL Grand Finals coming up afterwards. So the team lineup right now is Blitz, Aosin, Corey, and then our 2 new members are Slicks and X-Freedom. So if you guys haven't checked them out yet, you can. We're really excited to have them here, and they're really, really good players. So if you haven't heard about them before, I'd be a little surprised. But Slicks is from Han, and he just played in Taiwan. He ended up getting 2nd at the tournament, I believe, behind VP, just regular VP. I think it wasn't VP Polar. And X-Freedom played at TI2 on Scythe, and is just a really good Singaporean player. He has national service very soon, though, so he's only going to be with us for Season 4. Anyways, that's Zephyr updates. It's actually pretty late here, but most people are asleep because they woke up early to go to the match, so I just figured I'd record a game, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Anyways, Disruptor. Playing Disruptor in solo queue. I do this sometimes. He's one of the heroes that I occasionally pick due to what I'm against. And this game, I think I picked him... I actually don't remember, because they last picked anti-mage, actually. So I was like, I don't know what it was, but I saw Disruptor and I was like, yeah, this is going to work. I think it was the Darkseer or something, because he's pretty good against Darkseer in the zoning and kill department, because you're a ranged hero. Thunderstrike does pretty good damage. It does 4d damage times 4, which is 160. It doesn't really do that much. It actually does. This is a big nuke. This is 160 magic damage for 1 skill point. That's higher than almost any nuke in the game. At level 1 at least. It's really good. With Glimpse, his 2nd skill, you can send the Darkseer who just ran away back into territory where you can kill people. You basically counteract his surge. And then his 3rd skill can prevent people from moving, which is also very good against Darkseer. So he's all around really solid versus Darkseer. His ultimate is a big AoE silence and damage area thing. And I was pretty happy this game because the Earthshaker actually did a really good job at playing support. A bit of a weird fissure here considering we didn't do any damage, but we basically just put all of our effort into zoning the Darkseer. This is good when you realize he was blocked. Usually I don't necessarily get Thunderstrike on level 1, but luckily for us, he ended up getting blocked in the trees because he was trying to trade with Earthshaker, but he wasn't within tower range, and then he got blocked, and then he used a whole bunch of tangos to try to get out, and he died anyway, so that was pretty cool. We got first blood, and I messed up that last there. I felt really bad about that. Anyways, the Earthshaker was putting a lot of effort towards zoning the Darkseer, and that's a really good thing for us because zoning a offlane hero is really, really important to do, and in pubs it almost never is done to satisfaction in my opinion. So what we want to do is come over here and we want to make sure that Darkseer doesn't hit level 2, and that's really important because when Darkseer especially hits level 2, that means he has an escape ability in Surge, and in most cases the offlane heroes become a lot stronger when they get a couple levels in them, so it's really important to keep them under leveled a little bit. It's really, really important to do that. So Earthshaker and I are going to work on that. Earthshaker is actually really bad at zoning. In most cases, he's really bad against Darkseer as well because Darkseer is a melee hero, so he's actually trading hits for hits. But what the Darkseer then does is normally is Ion Shells himself and then trades hits with Earthshaker, and it's not a big deal. But for some reason, this guy just didn't do that. I don't know. I'm sure he wasn't that fantastic of a player, but thus far we've zoned him properly. He's still level 1, I believe, if we find the levels somewhere. Yeah. He's still level 1 here. This is going to keep Earthshaker at 1, but that's overall okay for our team because if we're trading 1 support for an offlane hero, it's completely worth it. That's one whole lane of experience they're not getting, experience and last hits, so that's gonna be okay for us. I am blocking the rune spot here because I'm gonna want our mid hero to be able to grab that, and rather than sitting on top of the bounty rune, I instead start moving towards their high ground. And this is important to do sometimes because then I can kind of stare down the enemy mid hero and be like, look, I'm standing here. If you come towards the rune, I'm going to fight you for it. You don't even know if the rune's still there, so you might as well leave. And then he leaves. And a lot of the times that's going to happen, unless he happens to have a solo mid hero that's actually good against that. I was trying to glimpse him back here, but unfortunately the fissure blocked my path a little bit. And it's only a level 1 glimpse. Level 1 glimpse is actually a very short range. It only goes 600, so it's about the same as my attack range. In fact, it is probably my attack range. It is my attack range. So if I can attack, I can glimpse, and I actually could not glimpse there, so that's okay. This was at this point in time I should have been pulling. I knew he's out of regen at this point. He was at half HP, and he's very likely to go back to base. And I could see this based on the replay, but the reason I stayed up is because we narrowly missed that kill. So I was like, we narrowly missed the kill. I want to stay to see if he comes back so we can actually kill him this time. I'm going to be in position. But he has a ward, as you can see, to the upper left of the screen. So if I would have pulled right here, I probably would have hit level 3, because that would have killed at least a small camp. I probably would have connected the pull, because connecting pull on Radiant is pretty easy. And then I maybe even could have pulled into the third camp. I would have hit level 3, and with level 3, your glimpse range goes from 600 to 1,000, which is a huge difference. Instead of pulling, what I ended up doing was stacking the large camp. And this is something that you can do as well as a support. That's helpful. If you're not going to get your own experience, if the pull camp is blocked or something like that, you can also just stack large camps, things like that. And there it is. Stacked a large camp. Persons that can kill it later. Bristleback can kill that without too much trouble. Legion Commander can maybe kill it. And Spectre can't really do anything about it until he gets a Radiance. So again, I'm going to cover the rune. I'm going to let the Legion Commander come snag this up. And then I'm going to go shift towards bot lane. We'll see if we can get a kill on a Darkseer. If I had 2 levels of glimpse, I again would have glimpsed him right here, and I tried to glimpse him, but unfortunately didn't have it. So if I would have pulled instead of stacking, I think that would have been a really big advantage to us, because I could have maybe killed him there, or at least done a lot of damage, and that would have been good. He actually doesn't have any regen. He bought boots off of his trip back to base. And levels are so important on supports. Being efficient with your time is extremely important. We haven't even ganked. Mid, for example, all we've done is basically zone the Darkseer with 2 heroes. And at the start that was good, but ever since that point, it wasn't very effective, and I could have done a better job at being efficient with my time. Again, zone the Darkseer, but it's also important that you eventually get your own experience in gold. And luckily for me, I was able to find that later when we get to that point, but without knowing that that moment was going to come, it's sometimes very dangerous to be this active. I could have pulled here as well. If I wanted to. I still have 4 tangos left. I can break the pull through spot. Instead, what I did is I came over here to help zone the Darkseer, because I thought that this was going to be a good kill. I'm trying to glimpse here, and it actually didn't work, and that's probably because Darkseer had boots and I did not, and I chose the Thunderstrike first, which was maybe a mistake. The reason Thunderstriking first is usually the right choice is because it provides you vision over the 4 seconds that the Thunderstrike is zapping a guy. And that's usually why you need 1 Thunderstrike guarantee. You have to get 1, in my opinion. I've seen some other builds occasionally, not necessarily from top pros by any means, but some disruptors, even in like lower tier competitive games, they'll skip Thunderstrike sometimes, and I think that's an absolute mistake, because it guarantees a kill on somebody, essentially. And the hero that we're going to be casting on later is going to be Anti-Mage, because he's the evasive one that's a pain in the butt to deal with. You cast on them initially, and then you have up to 4 seconds to glimpse them back. So even if they blink away or they force staff away, you can still see them. And then as they are escaping, then you glimpse them back, and then you do your ulti combo with the kinetic field. I usually put my ulti down first, because the silence is usually more important, and then the kinetic field will latch about the same time that they're about to escape. That's about how I make it work, at least. So I'm finally pulling. I should have done this a lot earlier. It's 6 minutes, I'm still level 2, which means I'm very under leveled. And I stayed a little bit too long here on the creeps. For this camp, usually you wait until about 3 of them are below half HP or so. Luckily for me, I ended up still getting 3 creeps, which was way greedy. I shouldn't have. I honestly don't think I even deserved to get that much. Unfortunately, I wasn't there to get golden experience for the pull-through camp, but we might be able to kill Darkseer. Yeah, he actually died to the dagger really easily. And our hasted Legion was all about chasing. I was trying to glimpse, but again, still level 2. Another situation where me being a higher level could have been a kill. In fact, I think if I was 3 there and I glimpsed Zeus back, 100% kill, because he would have been sent back behind where the Spectre was even standing. My Legion ended up feeding here. That was his bad, but me not pulling had huge implications already. We would have killed Darkseer once more, and we would have killed Zeus there as well. All because I didn't pull earlier, basically. It's a big deal, and that's the biggest mistakes that I made this whole game, in my opinion. That little EXP and gold acceleration just makes a huge difference. I really wanted this kill, but unfortunately I didn't have the mana. At this point it was time to back. In this case, my inefficiency is easier to visualize because I simply wasn't able to get the glimpse off due to it not being high enough of a level. But you have to remember that that also transitions from every single hero. It could be damage, like, oh, my Vengeful Spear is only level 2 instead of level 3, so my magic nuke did 75 less damage, which is about 1 right click, essentially. So, because I wasn't level 3 I was level 2 instead of level 3, I didn't have enough damage to get a kill. And those situations are maybe more apparent, but I really like the glimpse situation. It's just so important that you need that little bit of extra levels and experience, especially as a support, because as a support you don't need a whole lot of gold to get levels, to get kills and be useful. If you're wondering why I was hiding in the trees so much, because my HP was low, and I know that the Witch Doctor and the Zeus were bot lane recently, and if I have no creeps in my tower and I show myself, they can very easily dive and then cast nukes on me until I die, and then I'm just dead and I feed. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't die that way, and instead I just sapped experience. At level 4 I grabbed 1 level of kinetic field. Sometimes you can go 1-1-1 build or 1-0-2 build. Sometimes going Thunderstrike and Kinetic Field is the way to go. But if you're zoning an offlaner like this, I think it's best if you go 1-2-0 with 2 Glimpse and 1 Thunderstrike like I did. I think that's a bit better. Now I shifted over the lane. I don't really know why I'm doing this. I feel like I'm waiting for the Observer Wards. I wanted to lane the safe lane to protect the Spectre, because we had zoned the Darkseer fairly competently here, and I wanted to make sure that he was going to be able to survive. So I brought myself a Tango, I brought myself a Clarity Potion so I wouldn't have to go back to base, and I'm just going to ward the lane here. Try not to ward when the creeps are walking by, because then they're going to see you coming, and then they might deward you later. But since the Spectre ended up TPing away, I said, okay, free lane. And instead of pulling, I can now just sit in the lane and get experience. And this is the catch-up mechanic that I was talking about. It is only, God, please last hit better than I last hit here. I last hit this so bad. I was checking mid to see if I needed TP, and I did not. So I definitely don't want to leave my lane right now, because free experience and gold is so nice as a hard support. Especially on Disruptor. Disruptor with levels can do really amazing things. So it's definitely very good if you play this one a little safe and just get a little greedy at this point in the game. It's fine. We already zoned the Darkseer a lot. He's still level 4, so he's actually the same level as me. And now I'm getting solo farm and solo experience in my lane, which is pretty awesome. Our Spectre was rushing a really fast Relic. And I was really sad that he didn't TP back into my lane. I mean, it guarantees me to get gold. At first I was happy because I was like, oh, there's a wave up there. He's going to get gold. I'm getting gold. We're farming mid. We're out farming on them. Probably. Let's check the rest. I would assume so. Dire is actually in a gold advantage. But look at this big jump up. In the last like 1 minute during the period of that whole fight, I've been farming, mid has been farming, and now top has been farming. So we're catching up a little bit. And that wasn't because of kills. That's because we're just farming more places on the map than there. Every time I look back, I got a last hit, but I swear to God I missed a million last hits when I watched this last time. I missed this one for sure. I shouldn't have attacked there. I should have been more patient. And somebody TP's in, which I'm going to spot. I think I was alt-tabbed or something during that point. Anyways, almost level 6, and this has been within 1 minute. I went from about 4 to 6. It's more like a minute and a half, something like that. Darkseer's doing a little pushing here, and I'm missing last hits again. Nothing else is new. Got that one. Zeus got an Earthshaker for free, and I'm going to buy a Sage's Mask and build towards an Urn. I love Urn on Disruptor. I think I built it last time that I played Disruptor. I don't know, maybe that was like 2 weeks ago. I don't really know, but damn it, Disruptor's so fun. Urn is the way to go. It not only gives you enough mana regen, but it also gives you a nuke. And a nuke is something that Disruptor kind of lacks, especially with the skill build that I go, where I max out Glimpse. And again, I think that's the right way to play Disruptor. Here comes the Glimpse. After I've done a happy enough amount of damage, and even though that was a little bit of overkill, we definitely killed him very hardly. I think it's still worth it to drop your ulti in the early game, and it's maybe not much as I think. I know that it's worth it as a support to use your ulti, especially on a lowish cooldown of 80 seconds to get a kill on somebody, because That decreases their farm levels. The Darkseer's not still level 5. That increases my farm levels. That gives me gold. It's just really, really useful to use your ulti to get kills. It's similar to how Tidehunters in the early game will use their Ravage to get kills. Even if it's a support, it's worth it because at that point in the game, people generally don't group up enough. So if they don't group up enough, it's not a huge deal if your ulti's on cooldown. It's kind of how you have to think about it. Same goes with Black Hole. Black Hole, Ravage seem like abilities that you should almost never use. But even in the early game, it's worth it to do it if you can get a kill. So absolutely do it if you can kill a Darkseer. It was completely worth it there. The reason I like Urn and why I say it's enough mana, you may be thinking right now, like, oh, you don't have enough mana right now. There's no way you have enough. I actually have enough to use about 1, maybe 2 spells right now, which isn't quite a huge amount. I wanted to use the Courier here to get my Urn, but the Spectre was just sitting at the Secret Shop forever, which is really annoying. But the Urn is just good because it gives you about enough to use. So if you look at my mana pool right now, I almost have enough for Static Storm and a Glimpse, which alone is pretty good and can be useful. But the Urn kind of pushes you in an area where you have about enough mana, and it's a good offensive item. Keep in mind that Urn is pure damage now, which means it's even really good against Anti-Mage, because Anti-Mage has a ton of magic resistance, but Urn is pure, so that goes right through that. So Urn is really good against Anti-Mage. It does 150 pure, which is approximately like 200 and something magic damage, which is pretty good, assuming that somebody has normal resistance. I like grabbing 4 levels of Glimpse personally, not only because the range goes up a lot, the cooldown drastically goes down to 20 seconds, and also the mana cost really drops down to 70 mana. That's very, very low, and that's part of the way that you're going to really use a lot less mana in your combos. If you keep Glimpse at level 1, it costs 160. It's really, really expensive to use it that early, so you have to be very careful. And this looks like I can get a solo kill here. And there it is. There's a little bit of Thunder Strike, and we should be able to. I'm going to wait this out a bit. In a second, I'll glimpse him here. There's the glimpse, the ulti, and the kinetic field. I almost didn't do that in time. I was a little bit late, and I snag a kill versus Darkseer, and I know I'm going to die, so I got to buy out now. So I bought the wand, which is a good pickup. I like getting wand myself on Disruptor. I think wand and Urn pretty much gives you everything that you need in terms of mana. A lot of Disruptors I feel always buy Arcane Boots first item, but I think that's a little bit of a mistake unless you get more levels of Thunder Strike. If you're in like a 1v1 situation, for example, you'll get more Thunder Strike, and maybe grabbing Arcanes is worth it, but I'm not a huge fan of going Arcanes anymore. I used to a long time ago, but as I played more and more Disruptor, I kind of felt like if you're going to get Arcanes, I feel like you should just rush Aghanims, because it kind of gives you a big mana pool as well, and Arcanes isn't completely needed. I don't know. Arcanes is good if your allies need mana, but I'm kind of playing, I don't know. I just like Urn Wand. It's good for me. I mean, that's kind of how you guys should play Dota sometimes. Get what's good for you, within reason. I think there's a lot of times where low-level players will build terrible items, and they could be more efficient, but as a whole, just get what you think is good, and at some point you might actually be right. If you get good enough, is probably the weird way I can say it. So Anti-Mage is going to leave the lane. That was a little unfortunate. I didn't have my ulti yet. I was waiting about 5 seconds there until I felt comfortable going for him. And we do spot him again running into the jungle. So I kind of wanted to go try to kill him, but I really need 2 heroes to do this. There's no way that I can solo kill him because it's all magic damage. So I need somebody to come with me to hopefully set up that kill. I think I was asking Legion Commander to come top. I think he has. Does he have a Shadow Blade here? He does. He had his Shadow Blade here. So he TP's mid. He's like, oh, there's 3 heroes. Let's fight him. I'm gonna duel him, and that's what he does. So I start walking there. He does get damage out of it, which is pretty good. His Bristleback is all crazy. Luckily for me, he stood still for a little bit there. I use Urn, pick up a kill, and now I can heal up my team. Give this guy an Urn since he was really low. Just gonna bottle that up. We did get a kill on Doom. Oh, that's right, Witch Doctor died in the duel. So my mana pool's low now, but I have some magic sticks. That is, what, 60 mana? That's okay. I can do a combo without ulting. And in this game, I actually chose to max out Kinetic Field second. I normally don't do this. In fact, I almost never do this. Although the cooldown, the up-down time becomes pretty good. 4 seconds out of 11 is pretty awesome. You can actually cast that twice in a fight, which is sometimes useful. A lot of times I'll max out Thunderstrike first if I'm against a hero that doesn't have magic resistance, but against an AM, I think it's not very worth it to max out Thunderstrike. I think it's a lot better if you instead max out Kinetic Field, because the duration of Static Storm is 5 seconds. So if you can get the Kinetic Field duration close to that, that means more Static Storm damage, and more importantly against an anti-mage, more time that he can't just blink away. So our ability to kill him is like completely centered around my ability to silence him. If not me, it has to be Duel from Legion Commander, and those are the only ways we're going to kill that guy, is by Static Storm, Duel, or Chain Stunning from Earthshaker, and that's not always super likely to do, especially when you get into late game. And the best time to kill an anti-mage is honestly the early game anyways. You don't want to let him get a bunch of items before you're like, yeah, I'm going to go gank him now that I have magic stick and an urn, you know. It's a little bit too late, essentially, to do that. Luckily for me, that was actually a really good Echo Slam there. I thought I was going to have to glimpse and use an ulti there, but in fact I ended up being able to not have to use that. Just had to do a Thunderstrike and a right click, and I think I used maybe an urn or something like that. So that was a good kill. That's a really nice echo by the Earthshaker setting that up, and now we're going to shift to the top lane. Another really good combo is as you stun people, you drop the Static Storm on them. Because normally when you drop the Static Storm and the Kinetic Field, they just walk out in time. But if you stun them for about a second or more, then they're going to stay put. I was hoping he would fissure, he would save his fissure. Got a little bit of a Witch Doctor here. I thought maybe there was a chance that we could work his HP down and score a kill, but he just mana voided, and it did a ton of damage. Does he have Arcane Boots? Yeah, that's why. He was completely out of mana, and he has 2 Null Talismans. I don't know, he has 2 Null Talismans. If he has Arcanes, that's a waste. That's like 1,000 gold he could have had. Fortunately for me, I was a little slow there, and I ended up dying. So I got killed. We do have a Radiance on our Spectre, that's good. I think it's just Brown Boots though, which I am not a huge fan of. The Brown Boots Radiance build is really greedy. I have a lot of gold here because I've been in quite a few fights, so what I'm going to build next is a Blink Dagger. And the first person I saw do this was, maybe it was done before this guy, I don't know. But the first person I saw do it was Whitebeard of Sna for the TI NA qualifiers, and he got a Blink Dagger first after Brown Boots, and the reason it's so useful is because it allows you to initiate when it's time to initiate. You don't have to worry about your movement speed, you just blink in your range. So Glimpse range is 1800. If you had a blink on top of that, you're talking about like a 2800 range initiation, which is massive. That's like a massive amount of distance that allows you to initiate. If somebody's ever out of position, it's time to glimpse. You glimpse them, and you're going to be able to catch them. I activated a smoke here, organize these guys, and then we're going to go look for an anti-mage or a Doombringer. If we can find either one of these guys, it would be great. See the anti-mage going for the bounty rune. We're going to try to lead him off. We wanted the Legion to go first because he was invisible. I saw the anti-mage coming. Anti-mage goes down. That was a really good vacuum. I really thought Darkseer was going to die there, but he ends up surviving. So I thought that fight was going to go better, considering I caught the anti-mage. I was just waiting for his blink in. Even if he doesn't get stunned, I was still going to attempt to drop the Static Storm, because as soon as he blinks, I know he can't blink out. Not that that matters once I drop Static, obviously, but drop the Static immediately, keep him silenced, drop him in the Kinetic Field, and then he isn't able to escape, and that should be a kill, you know? That's what you're looking for. Because Legion Commander does okay damage. I think this Legion was mostly just getting a lot of dual damage. Okay, he's got 62 damage already, which is, honestly, that's really fantastic. He's doing a good job getting dual damage off. If he can just keep getting duels off and getting a lot of damage, he can deal with the anti-mage. He's going to get his mana drained, but he can right-click him down. You just need physical damage. So we're going to go ganking again. We're going to move towards the top lane. Again, killing anti-mage is the most important thing. I almost got my ulti. I don't know if I'm going to have it in time. We'll see. But it is a level 2-1, which is good. So it does a bit more damage. Costs more mana, but that's fine. We've got to sneak to the jungle really fast so he doesn't spot us. And looks like we find a Doombringer instead. I'm just going to ulti on top of that. A little overkill maybe, but it guarantees damage. and that was basically what we wanted to do. Especially because we're in kind of a dangerous area. We're behind a tier 1 tower, so if they had a lot of heroes in the area, they could TP everybody and they could fight us. So it's usually a bit safer if you're playing aggressive like this to just get the heck out as soon as you can. And that also involves killing them. So just dropping your ulti on top of them, the static storm, it's going to do a couple 100 points of damage, and that's basically all we need to do. I'm going to send the anti-mage back here, because I don't want him to kill anybody. I grab my blink dagger here. I definitely didn't want to fight this anymore. We stayed a little bit too long, and they ended up getting killed. But I got my blink. I'm pretty happy. We killed the Doombringer. We lost our hard carry and a support, which is not good. I think, did we lose Legion? No, I don't think so. Just Spectre and Earthshaker. No big deal. Alright, so I'm going to be looking for initiation opportunities here. Still don't have my ulti. But that's okay. If you have a kinetic field, that's generally about all you need here. Rather than running back to my base, I decided to run towards their team. It wasn't necessarily a moment of panic, it's just I knew where the anti-mage was, and I felt like I was kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. So rather than retreating with my allies, I decided to run aggressively. And it ended up working out. I don't know, in that very moment, I was like, this is right. And I went that way, and I was able to blink, and it was weird. I thought the Witch Doctor ulti was going to eat me up, but it ended up hitting the Bristleback a lot instead of me. So I think that was why I ended up being okay. I'm buying a lot of wards now. Again, I don't really need a whole lot of mana pool. I can always go back to base while my Static Storm is on cooldown. That's a very important distinction, is that if your Static Storm's on cooldown, you might as well just go back to base. I mean, you can farm a camp or something, but it's not always needed. I got Zeus ultied here, which gives True Sight, so I knew they could see that ward. It's going to pop up on the map. So I'm going to compensate for them about to deward this. So I decided to place another ward that was close, but maybe not in the exact same place. And this one's not very often dewarded, so, and there it is. The Witch Doctor immediately shifted over to kill my Observer ward. I just wanted to put a lot of wards up on their jungle because of... it's getting ready to blink in here. I just wanted to put a lot of wards aggressively because we are going to be looking for kills with Legion Commander and things like that. If people don't ward aggressively, then it becomes kind of annoying and difficult to deal with these things. A lot of really good chain stunning there by the Earthshaker. Again, I maybe wasted my ulti. Maybe I should have placed it earlier. I don't know. I wasn't actually planning to ulti there with a chain stun. I thought what I was planning to do actually was lightning bolt and glimpse back and then go for the ulti combo. Was what I was expecting to do. Didn't work out like that. I knew he was gonna go in when I played the game. I was like, this guy's gonna like go in and feed his life away because that's the kind of player he is. The Darkseer player wasn't the best this game. So that was kind of not worth it. We lost our carry, we lost our backup carry, and we killed the anti-mage. The anti-mage kill was good, but we really didn't need to lose anybody else. And I glimpsed back the Doom because that's the hero that did the most damage there. And that should help keep the Earthshaker guaranteed from not dying. And I'm just going to TP out because I thought they were following me, and they actually were kind of going to that area. So continue to buy Observer wards if I can. I don't really need invis detection in this game unless somebody gets a Shadow Blade like Doom, but he's not really having a good game, so we didn't have to worry about that too much.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Somebody messed up the glyph pretty bad.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower has been denied.
Double down on sorcery.
Alright, so at this point, looking for kill setups is what I should be doing. I should actually be up there with my allies, I think. I think I started blinking on the way there. Yeah, I did. I think I should have been there already, because if they actually did show anybody up to fight, I could have glimpsed one back, or we could have gone for a kill. Would have been good.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I do not have a smoke, so me... Did he have a blink and a Shadow Blade? Oh, he did. That's weird. Really weird. And at this point, I'm just going to kind of wait to see if I can help out with a kill. I thought my Spectre was going to kind of farm aggressively up in the lane there, and I could back him up, but it didn't really seem to be the case. Again, kind of a weird player. That guy.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Still waiting to see if anybody shows up. They're playing really scared this game. I don't think they even had a ward on me either. They were just honestly 5-manning the whole game. This really affects your overall farm. If you play too scared, you don't get farm. If you play too unscared, then you get picked off a lot is kind of what happens. So I just played like really, I didn't really feel safe here. I didn't know where they had a ward, so I was kind of scared about just dying. They can initiate on me without too much difficulty. If you're not doing anything, just stack Ancients when you're walking past them. It's never a bad thing. Unless your carry doesn't clear Ancients well. Like if you have a Slark or something, stacking Ancients a bunch of times isn't the best thing you can do. Also be really careful if you stack your Ancients a bunch and they have really good Ancient clears, and it's really dangerous. It won't work out. Look at this, they're like 4-manning the Ancients. What the heck are these guys doing? That's a really good ward if you don't want to get dewarded. It's not as good on vision. It doesn't give you very much of the Roche Pit, but it spots their high ground. It's actually, I would say, that ward is actually a lot better than it used to be before, now that the Roche Pit changed, because now it spots all of this area right here. This spot's really common for the Dire team. So if you're Radiant, it's not that bad of a ward anymore, I would say. I guess that's why some people ward right here sometimes. If I look on the map, it's like on the mouth of the river. Probably because it gives better vision around the Roche Pit. Again, Zeus ultied, gives true sight. They know I'm there. It doesn't do damage to me if I'm invis, but it shows me. So I have to be careful where I'm moving right now. If they have a sentry ward, they could be waiting for me to walk into them. If they think I'm stupid.
Radiant's middle
And
tower
I'm just
is
going to go
under
around looking
attack.
for kills here. Checking the vision range. Saw 2 heroes here. I accidentally earned an illusion. That should be fine. And immediately after, I'm going to get the hell out. Because I'm all in cooldown anyways. And the Legion ends up dying, but he got a duel off, and we killed anti-mage. So that's completely worth it. Not even a doubt in my mind. We got that kill as well. Hit him like way too early there. I didn't know that the Zeus was right there, otherwise I would have attempted to kill him. I think I could have killed him. 4 Thunder Strikes and an Urn. It's 400 magic damage plus 150 pure. So we're talking about 600 plus right clicks. I think I could have killed him. Unless he has, oh, he has ulti. I would have died. I think. Maybe. Hard to say. Spectre has no items. 30 minutes, he's like barely finishing his second item after Radiance. I was not very confident in our Spectre's farming abilities this game. He's got 162 last hits. His KDA is good, but he didn't farm well enough, is the problem.
Illusion.
So at this point, as you're transitioning to late game, carrying smokes is pretty important. Keeping wards up is really important. Making sure that you have sentries and things like that, or dewarding their observe wards if you can, is really important. Glimpsed him there. Glimpse does one-shot illusions, by the way. It was an illusion, I didn't realize. And he's dead. So one-shots illusions, we're going to back up and smoke again. We don't need 5 to do this. This is one thing that I have issues with when I play with players, like if I stack with friends in real life or something. Whenever I call for a smoke, everybody on the map just runs there, because every time they smoke, it's never like... I'll talk about this later. I actually messed up. He got outside of it. If it wasn't for duel, we wouldn't have gotten that kill. He would have ran away. I tried to blink there for forever. So the fight went well, and again, I actually had enough mana to do everything, and I did things a lot of times. I used like 2 or 3 Thunder Strikes, I used 2 Glimpses, I used 2 Kinetic Fields, still had the mana. Urn, keeping it real, Magic Wand, that's all you need. Just an Urn and a Magic Wand, and then a mobility item. Looks like my strength gain is actually pretty good too. 1.9, that's not bad. That's not bad for an int hero.
Dire's middle tower
It's not too
is
bad.
under
2,
attack.
1.9 is not bad. My HP actually feels pretty good here, and then if you end up buying something like an Aghanims or working towards that, then you've got Point Booster and a lot of HP actually. But the main thing that's giving me HP is actually my levels. If it wasn't for my level advantage here, then I wouldn't be getting as much. But I mean, you can kill stuff pretty easily as a Disruptor. You just have to use your ulti combos with Glimpse with an ally. It usually takes 2, in most cases, especially early game. We wanted to go take this tower because it got pretty low. What was I talking about before?
Dire's middle tower
Remember what I wanted to talk about.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That was really well done by him. He dealt with Glimpse really well this game. I wanted to talk about anti-mage illusions and knowing which one is the real one, but I was talking about something else over there. Whatever. Let's talk about anti-mage illusions. When we started the fight over here, the anti-mage split, and you're probably wondering how I knew which one was the real one. It's basically just on movement patterns. I could see that 2 of the illusions were walking like equal space, and the third one was like not equal space to the other. So he was different than the other 2. And it may seem like a very small thing, but it's a huge thing, because if 3 illusions are just walking casually, they're going to look the same. It's going to look like creeps moving, basically. Just really base AI. And if all of a sudden like one of those illusions is like spaced differently, then it means that he right clicked in a certain way that made his hero Glimpse closer together. So because of that, I was like, alright, that's probably the real one. It might not be the real one, but I gave it a shot. I gave it the Thunder Strike. After he moved a bit farther away, I gave him the Glimpse, and then immediately I put the ulti down. Again, my kinetic field was slow. If I should have been faster. If I would have been faster, then he would have guaranteed been in there, but the only reason that we got that kill was because Legion also got the duel off, and the duel kept him within the static storm range, so he took up a lot of magic damage while also taking duel damage. So we got kind of lucky there. I've missed actually the last 2 kinetic fields I used, I missed. But that stuff's really important. It's something you learn as you play more and more Dota. I kind of wish I went for that kill there. I kind of can't believe I had vision on that. Once I got ultied here, I got pretty scared. I tried to cast that for a while. Well, he committed to it. I maybe could have blink ultied there. I don't know. Don't always want to ulti right away. Once they're committed, I was ready to ulti. And that was actually a good use of ulti, if you guys weren't sure. I didn't need to connect field there, but it did guarantee our kill. Like, don't be afraid to just ulti an area. I almost never do that, but in that moment right there, it was completely worth it. Because I don't want to pop my ulti just for a Witch Doctor. If I just get a Witch Doctor within the circle, it's not worth it. I don't want to do that. I should have glimpsed that illusion. I was looking for the anti-mage though. I don't want to just glimpse. I'm sorry, just ulti the solo Witch Doctor, because it's not going to do that much. If he's caught by himself, he's going to have a period of time where he's running, and then when he's like, alright, I have to fight, that's when you ult him, and that's when I did it. As soon as he turned around, he was like, I'm going to stun you guys. I dropped the ulti, and I didn't put it on my kinetic field again. I put it in a place that was not only going to silence him, but it was also going to silence his allies that were coming in, because we knew that his allies were coming in because I had a ward there. So as soon as his allies were coming in, I wanted to catch it just so that his ulti or his stun was delayed by his reaction time and also his movement and then follow-up stun, which is a lot of time. That's like a second and a half, 2 seconds, plenty of time to kill him. But it also would stun or silence the Zeus who was coming up and also the Darkseer. So those guys couldn't vacuum, they couldn't cast their spells. It basically zoned them out while silencing 3 heroes. So that ulti, that was probably my best ulti this game, and that's why I wanted to geek out about it for a second, because damn it, if I have a good game, I'm going to brag about it, and I'm never going to show you guys those shit games. That's just how it works. So, yeah, I thought that ulti was what you need to do sometimes, don't be afraid to drop your Disruptor ulti like that. It doesn't always have to be on your kinetic field combo. By the way, if you don't know how to do the Thunder Strike, the Glimpse, and the kinetic field with ulti, I recommend going into a custom game with one of your friends and just practicing it a bit. It doesn't have to be in official games. Remember, Thunder Strike, wait like 3 seconds, glimpse him back, ulti, kinetic field immediately. And you should be able to catch somebody reliably with that combo. And it's really important to do. If you mess up the combo, it's like messing up your pulls earlier. It's one less kill, it's a little bit less experience, which won't get you the kill later, things like that. And again, I think this is maybe the first time I got Blink on Disruptor, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was really good. So, I don't know where we're paused for, so I'm going to speed this up. Hey, the game started. Okay. You guys want to watch it in super slow motion while paused? Oh yeah, our Spectre was DC'd for a while, so we asked them.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
C servers, man. People are angry. I'm gonna earn back up here just so I can get to full HP, and I'm building Aghanim Scepter now. This is generally the natural progression. If I was behind at all this game, I would be building a Ghost Scepter. Ghost Scepter is great against Anti-Mage because if he blinks on you and mantas, you've got a bunch of dudes that are about to hit you and drain your mana and put you in a bad spot. My scrolling is really weak right now. It looks like I'm not scrolling. I should turn on my scroll speed. Yeah, if Manta jumps on you, if Anti-Mage jumps on you, Mantas, you need to be magic or physically immune with Ghost Scepter. I think it's a really good item to have. But since I'm ahead this game, I think I can get away without having it. My ulti was kind of bad there.
The Legion is great.
Got kind of blocked there. That was close. Blink wasn't quite far enough. That was pretty close. Kinetic field stops the illusions. I wasn't sure if I was going to need both, but I gave both anyways. It's kind of the point where Spectre just wins the fight. Spectre does mostly pure damage, almost all pure damage, at least with her skills. So Anti-Mage is pretty hard countered by Spectre, and Anti-Mage does extra damage by draining somebody's mana. And once you drain Spectre's mana, it doesn't matter because Spectre's mana is usually not very high. So ulting him will do some damage, but after you drain his mana, you don't hit that hard. You're basically wasting 4 skill points on Anti-Mage, whereas every single one of Spectre's skill points is worth it, except for like Dagger maybe, but that's just as slow. So that's why Spectre beats Anti-Mage basically. So Blink Dagger, I'm going for Aghanim Scepter. What Aghanim Scepter does is it, again, stack Ancients. Maybe it's a mistake to do this because they have an Anti-Mage to the battlefield, but whatever. Actually, I think I told the Legion about it right here. I was like, Legion, go kill Ancients. The reason Aghanims is good is because it's similar to Doom. When you get an Aghanims on Disruptor, it actually disables items. Because in the past, the problem with Disruptor is he peaks off really hard late game because people build BKB. Someone say BKBs. If they get trapped in a static storm, they just press BKB and they're like, sorry, and they just walk out and they stop taking damage. But what it does actually do now is it stops BKB. So you can actually blink in Static Storm. Like, for example, if you blink Static Storm as somebody Ravages, I mean, that's a wipe because you can catch multiple heroes and basically prevent them from using their spells or their items. And that's so much gold for most heroes, for almost all heroes. If you look at the heroes in this game, for example, Anti-Mage can still right-click, Spectre can still right-click, Legion Commander can still right-click, and Doom can as well, kind of. He's a medium physical damage hero. So that's like, I could basically take like half the heroes out of the game, assuming they're all against me, just with having the Aghanim Scepter. And the stats are great, the HP is great, the mana pool is okay. If you're ahead, you kind of don't need a Ghost Scepter against some heroes. If I was playing against a PA, I would 100% get a Ghost Scepter, but against the Anti-Mage, if you're really far ahead, you can kind of get away with just skimping and going for HP items like this instead. HP/utility, because obviously Aghanims is very good. We were rushing right here, so I didn't necessarily want to make it completely seem like we were absent, so I nuked the wave. I maybe should have cleared it once, because I did shift myself towards Roshan immediately afterwards. And this creep unfortunately followed me. I was a little surprised about that, but now what I'm going to do is sit back. I'm going to wait to see what happens and then I can counter initiate. Or I'm just going to completely ditch them, which is not the right choice. I don't think I should have done this. Basically, they're fighting without us, and I'm not even looking, but not that me being there is going to help at all, but they ended up crushing. But I didn't need to go back. I should have stayed. I was looking way too much on our allies, when in reality I should have stuck around and probably helped out. And there it is. See that? You just can't fight a Spectre at that point. Like, Spectre, I don't even know what the net worths are like. They're actually equivalent right here, but a second ago Anti-Mage is a bit higher. And Anti-Mage wasn't even close to matching him. But that's partially because Anti-Mage has pretty low HP, I think. What's his? It doesn't say his max HP because he's dead. Manta, Battle Fury, Heart. I think he should have gotten Butterfly before Heart. Actually, he should have gotten BKB Butterfly is what he should have done. If he got BKB, not that this is an anti-mage game, but if he got BKB, it would stop my ulti, it would stop my glimpse, it would stop Spectre's Desolate damage and Spectre's Dispersion damage. So basically, these two skill points would be completely worthless because these, this doesn't pierce spell immunity and this doesn't pierce spell immunity. So if he got a BKB, he would stop that damage, and it would stop my ulti, and it would stop all our Shaker stuns. And then if he got a Butterfly afterwards, then he wouldn't even be able to right-click him very well. So that's what he should have done. His item build was wrong. Going to Heart was a mistake this game. Even the Butterfly would have helped against Legion. I don't even think Legion has MKB. Yeah, Legion doesn't even have MKB. If he would have gone BKB into Butterfly, he would have had it done by now, and he might have won that fight. Who knows? So it was a 3v5. Bit of a mistake there by me. I tried to do just like a blinking standing disable, and it didn't work. I didn't have Glimpse here, unfortunately, so I was unable to save him. But he's going to be respawning. And I'm going to give the Earthshaker my last turn. The reason I'm doing this is because he's generally more likely to be up and close. So it's better if I play from range and try to help out like that.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
It's like our fight is just kind of over here. So I've got Aghanims now. I really thought I was going to catch the Doom there, but I didn't quite get him, unfortunately. Oh yeah, Aghanims also increases the duration of your ulti up to 7 seconds, and increases the damage as well, I believe. Silences items and increases duration. Technically it doesn't increase damage, but it increases the duration, which increases damage, because then it's on for more time. So, 7 seconds, my kinetic field is 4, I believe, so, yeah, if we chain stun and drop that on top of people, that's going to be really good. So we know the anti-mage was down towards here. We're going to try to grab him. Earthshaker definitely went in too early there, I think. He ends up dying anyways, but definitely too early. Plus he got a little unlucky. Blinking and then enchant toteming is kind of dangerous against people that have Manta Styles and BKBs. Even an anti-mage has a chance of blinking out in time. It's just not very safe to do that. This is a good time to ward, by the way. Usually after somebody dies, they'll get a little scared, and you can move forward and place a ward really aggressively. I wanted to put one here because if they come out of the base, I want to be able to see it, and then I want to be able to react to it. I'm just going to glimpse him back because that should guarantee the survival of my bristleback. So, getting the old send back. It's going to keep him trapped in. Just got to kill my own illusion. You know, normal stuff. Yeah, I definitely think I want to turn up my my speed.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
I don't know. I kind of want to get used to a different way to move your camera. Corey does this way where he presses his middle mouse button and it screen locks, the camera locks, so he can move the screen with his mouse. Whereas I do edge pans, which means that I have to move where I'm clicking away. It's kind of inefficient. What a bait, guys. It's my Aghanims ulti.
Radiant victory.
So, if you're playing support, zone the offlaners. Organize some ganks if you have any kind of ganking hero. 2 or 3 heroes is good. It shouldn't take more than 3 usually to go for a gank. Go after ganks on enemy carries. That's all pretty good. And try to keep them shut down, teamfight well. They had a pretty good lineup, not a whole lot of disables, but they had a couple good fights. The main issue is that Darkseer didn't get a blink, so there was never really any moments where we got like 4-man vacuumed. Not that they really have any follow-up, but anyways, that's Disruptor. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I'm gonna go play some more solo queue games now, and hopefully get some new heroes out soon. Sorry again, I didn't post a video in a bit, but I'm glad that everybody's asleep so I can record a video. I will see you guys later. Next Zephyr game is on Wednesday, by the way. It's online only. I think you can only watch that one on YouTube. I think we play against... I actually don't know. But we only have 3 matches left in Tier 2. There's only 5 matches in Tier 2, I think. But yeah, if you want to cheer on the team, we would appreciate it. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.